the squad to take no risk. Yeah, it's good to have him back as an option.
How close is Josh Windass to maybe playing football again or starting again?
Yeah, was a good step forward for him. Yeah, he got some minutes. Was important. I think he started well into the game. And yeah, after 2 days now recovery. Today I have the feeling the boys are very sharp. Even it was this very short session. Yeah, you feel the energy. They are hungry for the next game. And tomorrow we have the next chance.
Well, that perhaps goes to answer the next question, and how much your team selection tomorrow will be dictated by fatigue and tiredness.
It will be a mix from everything what we need. Which question we got from will get from the opponent. Which players are fresh. Yeah, and we want to win. And for this, hopefully, I make the right decisions to the starting of the game. But of course, it's about also game management and these things we bring together. And tomorrow evening, I will see a team from our side who do everything again with a lot of intensity, with a lot of sprinting, like against Swansea, with a lot of high pressing situations. Yeah, some guys didn't see this on Tuesday, but I saw a lot of good things against a strong side. One thing we have to improve: we need shots on targets, and for this we will be ready.
I remember when you and I spoke after the game at Blackpool about how it was just the hardest thing to have that speed of thought when creating chances or finishing chances. So it's still difficult, isn't it?
Of course, this is decision making under the highest pressure. In some situation you have to think about, or maybe sometimes it's better to take an extra touch, to be clinical. I think the last 2 days when you watch Champions League in the night, I think you see a lot of good things and you see what it means, have this extra touch, have a good decision making in the final third. It's a lot of quality. When you saw yesterday the game, for example, Munich against Barcelona, I think that was good football. Yeah, of course, we work on this. We had a meeting again after the game. That was important. It was also important to give my team a clear message. We should be positive. I think there's a lot of positive things since the QPR game. We were very close to win nearly every game of this last 6 games. We create a lot of chances, opportunities, and now hopefully we make the next step, that we win more games than in the last weeks.
So yeah, when you've had those discussions with the team, and I suppose there has been a lot of focus on the forwards, what has been your message to those forwards in light of not taking chances recently?
No, it's not. I think when you look to all the chances we had, it's not just the forwards. I think we had one situation, for example, second post from Paul Valentin. He can score. It's about how many players we have in the opponent box. Sometimes you have just 2. It's not enough to score. We need more. We have to be ready for this. Sometimes there's a crossbar in the second post we have to jump into when we want to score. I think all the things, but we create chances, and I think even we had less ball possession against Swansea, because when you look a little bit back what Swansea for direction of football is playing, for them it's normal. Even other teams they won in the past against Swansea had less ball possession and they won. This is not about possession, it's about how big is your quality in possession. And we had much more opportunities than Swansea, because when I count back, they had just 2 opportunities. That was in the first half, the header when James made a fantastic save, and it was in the second half after one ball losing situation where they had a counter attack. These are 2 actions, and we had 10, 11 good opportunities.
Swansea, by their own makeup, are a side that dominate the ball. Burnley can be the same on their day. What about Portsmouth then? When they play well, are they a possession-based team, or might they provide more avenues for Wednesday here?
They showed in the last games both phases. At first they changed the shape, then they changed a little bit the direction when they look to the QPR game. A lot of direct long balls, second balls. Then they have still some moments where they keep the ball. Yeah, I think it's clear we go there. For us, it's about play our football, what we want to do with our principles. We have a lot of energy. We had against Swansea, for example, the highest sprint distance ever. All the things, yeah, and these are parts, and this was, I think, a good picture. Sometimes the feeling, yeah, you feel not well after a game, but look to the performance. I think all the performance was right at the moment, and for me, the cup is not half empty; it's half full. And with this mindset, we go in the next games.
Yeah. So just finally, then, as from me, in terms of a perspective, you must be quite happy with the progress that the team are making, the sum of all parts, and then take your chances. But by and large, happy with what the group are evolving into.
Yeah, I see that we invest everything what we can do as a group, and I think. Yeah, I don't like to look too much back, but when we look back, and sometimes you have to be to get the feedback, we were able to win all the games, and we played against Burnley, West Brom, Coventry, Bristol, QPR, Swansea. Hopefully I didn't forget one. I think they showed a lot where we are and in which direction we improved our group. I think there was a time in the past we played against such teams and we were not close to get something. And yeah, we have to know from which point we come. I know this, my group knows this, we know what we invest, and there's no doubt from my side and from my team. We believe in our direction, and the wins, the next wins and the goals will come because we worked so hard for everything.
Thanks, Danny. See you tomorrow.
See you, thank you.
Danny, good afternoon. How you doing?
Hey Alex, I'm good, I'm well.
Good stuff. I will keep this short and sweet. You spoke there about your cup being half full. I know you have a broad eye across the reaction, maybe on the fan base, social media, that sort of thing. Why do you think it is that some parts of the fan base can be a little bit cup half empty sometimes?
Yeah, you have to ask our fans sometimes. I see a team who really create a lot of things. Yeah, of course, there's emotional things into. Yeah, I think this is my job to take the emotional out and they look from tactical point, from the points physical side, from decision making. Yeah, of course, after the game there's emotion, and then you will say something, and then but you have to look in the deep, and I look always in the deep, and it means not that when we made not a good game, then I'm the first one to be critical at first with my person. Then of course we will speak about this, but when you create a lot of good things and how we pressed even against Swansea, I think that was just two things, and it's sometimes really helpful to have a good reflection. Swansea and Burnley both teams had just 7 touches in our own box. Yeah, and we had compare against both teams around 30 touches in the opponent box. That means they have 50% from our touches, but we didn't score, and that showed me one point that our pressing, our defense work, it's very well at the moment. It gives us power, it gives us energy, and we create a lot of good moments. And we will improve, we have to improve in parts. There's no doubt, no question mark. But we cannot just look always to things and then make some statements where I'm thinking, oh, I'm very surprised. my expectation, my demanding is high. My players want to win games. Everybody here has a clear mindset, and this is good. And we know what we can do, and we know that we need a strong performance to win games. I said this before. We need 100%. It gives us a chance. And if you have a good day, then you can win the games. And all the games after Millwall, we could win.
You might have just referred to it there. There was a little bit of a boo after the final whistle. Did that? Was that something? How did it make you feel? What was? Were you surprised by that? Or?
I think even in this situation, I take it. It's if they have the opinion, I have a different opinion. When I look at the game, I have the feeling. That's one thing. My team invests every time, everything, and they sit also in the changing room and we are not happy because about the result. But my point is to come back and give them a clear picture. How was the performance? This I did, and I think it's more helpful that we support each other during the game, after the game, and I think everybody is welcome. Be part. I like it. I like the atmosphere. My team need energy. We give everything on the pitch, and all the other things. Everybody has to decide in the stadium what is the opinion. It's not my my part to give the advice what they have to do. I try to do my job as best as possible, and I know what we can create, and this journey we have to keep going.
There'll be a lot of talk on there over the next few weeks about fatigue and the level of players with where they're at. Sort of heard about the red zone and clubs being on top of where players are at with that sort of thing. How is that stuff looked at? How do you measure when a player's right on the edge of possible injury?
Yeah, of course you look to the datas. How is the load? Then I think this is one thing after the game. How many sprints they had? How was the training load? Then you speak with the physio. Then you have to speak with the players. All the information you will collect, and from this then you have to make a decision. Of course, it's a big load for the players. I think it's important that we use our squad. We did, and I think this, we never should forget. Even when I rotate, it's not sometimes that I know what I have to do, and I know what is important to means to get fresh legs in some positions, because there's a different. If you play in front and you have always to cover and you have to close and you have to sprint again, then it's a different position when you maybe play as a center back. And even our center backs at the moment, they work so hard because they're always connected with the team. They have to protect behind, they stepped into all the things. I think we did well in the weeks now. We had not so many injuries, small ones. This is helpful. It helps the group that everybody gets minutes. Important is that everybody knows and understands more and more. Even you have to be ready. Sometimes 3 games in 6 days. Then it could be that you play just 1 game, but in this game you have to perform. And this is what we want to try. And I think it was good to have the group very early in the season together to be now ready that everybody is on the same page.
Portsmouth then, bottom of the league, they're a club that have got their issues. Does this feel like one there'll be even more pressure to go and get a win?
Yeah, at first I think from the last 5 games they took 5 points. This is average from 1 point. They will also adapt and learn with the first experience in this league, of course. It's a home game for them. I heard there's a good crowd there. Will be a good atmosphere. We have a lot of away supporters. This is again unbelievable when you look Friday night, then again Tuesday night. always sold out. This is fantastic. This is then maybe I come back to your question after the game when you ask me about the booing. I see that we have a lot of great supporters. They follow us. They give us energy away. This is fantastic. And when you go to Portsmouth we have our high demanding, then at first we want to make a good performance, and at the end we want to take points, and we want to score, we want to play attractive, we want to run a lot, we want to win duels, we want to create chances, we want to defend well, all the things what we always want to do. But as an opponent, they will also try something, and tomorrow night we can be ready, or we will be ready, and we can do again a good game.
Great stuff. I'll leave it there. Safe travels. I'll see you down there.
Thank you. See you. Bye bye.
Hi Danny, good to see you.
Hey,
when you mention the running stats, I know it's more complicated than just that, but when you see the numbers so high, is that a good sign as to where your team is mentally as well as physically?
This is a good part. It's not everything, because everything. It's about then the 3 points and the position where you are in the table, but especially the 3 points is then the key. But it gives you a reflection without emotion, and you see then, okay, it's the right, or it's the way right or not. And I look to the data as well after Millwall. Now I see this and compare this. I see a lot of good things. I compare us with the other teams in the league as well, with the top teams, and I see as well we are in some parts we made huge step forward compared to the last season. And this is good to see, and it's just one tool. It's not everything, but it's one tool what I use.
Sure. We talked to Paul a bit earlier, a little bit about the team spirit, which seems to be very good in the camp. And I know you try and influence it by being very honest with players about their roles and things like that. But do you rely more on the dressing room to lead that side of things?
Yeah, we're also growing together. I think we had some changes in the summer. You need some moments where you improved. I think, for example, the win in Coventry, that gives the group togetherness, because these are then moments what you live together. And this is always a part to help to bring the group forward. I see the spirit on the pitch in the training. Of course, some players sometimes a little bit disappointed when they not start, but they understand more and more that I subbed. You see, not too late in the game. Always the first subs is around 55-60 minutes to have fresh legs again. Everybody gets the minutes. And we have games. Everybody is important. It's good that we have not so many injuries at the moment. It's also helpful. Sometimes it's difficult, more for me, but all in all, it goes everything in the right direction, and the spirit is as well.
And you talked about the dressing room being disappointed after the game on Tuesday. Obviously it would be, but do you think the players, when they're in the emotion of the game, recognise the positives that you just pointed out to them, or is it really important that you sort of hammer them home at the middle of the next day or the next time you see them?
I think sometimes for the players it's hard to analyze the game without emotion, because emotion is a big part. You need emotion and passion to bring the tactical things on the pitch. Without emotion and passion, then it's difficult. Then you play not with a heart. You need your heart. This is important. But my job is then, and it was yesterday, the first sentence I said to my players, now we start the meeting and you could be disappointed, but I tell you after the meeting you will go out and you will be ready for the next game, and you think positive, and this is my part. We did well, and I feel this after the meeting yesterday. Today nobody is looking back, we're looking forward, and we are convinced that we make a next good game.
And this would be your first trip to Fratton Park in Portsmouth?
I was as a visitor there when I lived in Southampton, but in the same.
You'll have, obviously very nearby. So you'll have experienced the atmosphere, and it's a very traditional ground, isn't it? Do you enjoy those sort of traditional English football grounds and the atmosphere they
Yeah,
create.
of course, it's always special. Yeah, it's always special when you play Friday night. You're on the TV, you are there, you go there, atmosphere, away fans, home fans, both sides want to win a proper football match. Yeah, of course, I like this and away. It's always nice when you be successful.
Of course, yeah, well, that's obviously what decides it. Do you feel it brings a good side out of your players as well to play in these big floodlit, televised, big away fan games?
Yeah, I think let's look back. Luton, Bristol, Coventry. I think these away games were very strong from our side. I think we learned as well. I think especially Luton and Coventry. Maybe we look back in the last year. Then we had some big defeats away. Of course, Millwall was a big one in Sunderland. It was the beginning of the season. And now in the last weeks we were more compact, more controlled away, and this was good. And we take the good atmosphere and we take the atmosphere and change it to our positive energy.
Thank you very much for your time, Danny.
Thank you guys. See you. Bye bye.